As we're going to stay with him, though, and I'm going to introduce to you now to Helmut Norpoth. He's a political science professor, and great to have you here, Helmut.
Thank you for having me.
And he's at Stony Brook University in New York. He has come up with a way in which to accurately forecast, predict the outcome of elections, both primary and general elections, right?
Well, actually, only the general election. Yeah, I take the primary election as my...
You just warm up with those.
As my predictors. No, I use that as my information to make the prediction about the general.
Okay, so you have a little more trouble with the primary. It's good to know.
Yes.
And your success rate when you are doing this, not with historical information, but in current, real-time elections and campaigns, what is your accuracy?
In real time, the last five. So 5 out of 5.
5 of 5.
Yes. Popular vote, I have to admit.
That is impressive as it could possibly be. Is there one thing in particular you look at? Is it historical trends? Is it some shift or change in the balance of voting, both turnout as well as popular party popularity?
Yeah, look at cycles of the vote, which you can track back to 1828, and it really shows that after about 2 or 3 terms, the party balance changes in the White House. So this is an election that's at the tipping point, and in particular, with the way the vote was in the last 2 elections, it gives the Republicans an edge. The Republicans are favored to win
this year,
even without Trump. So even without Trump, they're ahead.
Don't tell Donald that. He's talking there at Oklahoma City.
Well, he's going to get more. He's going to get more. And that comes from the primaries, because if you do well in the primaries, and if you do well in the early primaries, like New Hampshire and South Carolina, because that sets the stage for the others. After that, a lot of primaries aren't a big surprise anymore, because you've done well.
Well, the expectation is that he will do very well Tuesday. He's leading in 12 out of the 14 states. We're looking at 500, almost 600 delegates up in these Super Tuesday contests, including, of course, Oklahoma, where Trump is speaking right now. People want to know.
Yeah.
What does your model say who will win the general election this year?
Yeah, well, I think if you have that pattern where you win the early ones and then you're favored in the next one, that's really what I would expect. Because if that weren't the case, then I couldn't use the early ones. And
so your model suggests what?
My model suggests that Donald Trump will win the general with a fairly high certainty. 97%. That's a little scary, but
97% certainty?
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm always inviting bets against that. I know that.
Well, 97% certainty. What has been the highest percentage certainty in your forecast in these 5 previous?
Well, I've had about
cycles?
90% certainty 4 years ago that Obama would get reelected, as early as now in January after New Hampshire.
And 97% certainty for Donald Trump. You might ought to call him. I appreciate it.
Okay.
It's great to have you.
Thank you so much. I really
come back. We'll talk more.
Okay.
About odds and probabilities in electoral politics.
Yes.
Presidential.
Not if I'm wrong.
I'm sure you won't be. 97% sure. A nail-biting moment caught on camera in Panama City Beach, Florida. We want to share that with you. This shark, terrifying onlookers. You can just think how the person in that kayak felt as that monster shark swims toward him. Look at him. Just figuring out, is he lunch or is he a snack? Fortunately, the basking sharks, and that one is the second largest of the shark species, and are not considered to be especially a threat to human beings. I don't know if that would have been any consolation at all to the fellow in the kayak if he had known that thing was there sort of circling him, but apparently meaning no harm, and no harm done. Up next, Tim Cook has no trouble doing what the Chinese government says, demands, but when the United States government asks, well, defiant Tim Cook, a whole different fella, it seems, when he's in our great constitutional republic that made him possible. We take up the case with former FBI Assistant Director Bill Gavin, attorney Rebecca Rose Woodland, and a former supermodel slamming Sports Illustrated for putting the full-figured Ashley Graham on its cover. I don't see the problem. We'll take that up here next.